Welcome to this journey through the fascinating world of cats, those mysterious and captivating creatures that have lived alongside humans for thousands of years. As you settle into comfort and allow your body to relax, let your mind wander through the remarkable facts and stories about our feline companions. Take a deep breath, release any tension, and prepare to drift into peaceful sleep while discovering the wonders of cats. Cats have been part of human civilization for approximately 9,500 years, with the earliest evidence of cat domestication found in Cyprus, where a cat was buried alongside a human in a grave dating back to 7500 BCE. This ancient relationship speaks to the deep bond between our species, a connection that has evolved and strengthened across millennia. The domestic cat, known scientifically as Felis catus, descended from the African wildcat, Felis sylvestris libica, which still roams the deserts and savannas of Africa and the Middle East today. These wild ancestors were attracted to early agricultural settlements, where rodents congregated around grain stores, creating a mutually beneficial relationship that would transform both species forever. The ancient Egyptians revered cats as sacred animals, associating them with the goddess Bastet, who represented home, fertility, and protection. Killing a cat in ancient Egypt was punishable by death, and when a family cat died, household members would shave their eyebrows in mourning and hold elaborate funeral ceremonies. Cats were so valued that they were mummified and buried in special cat cemeteries, with thousands of mummified cats discovered by archaeologists in dedicated cat necropolises. The Egyptian word for cat was mao, which interestingly sounds like the noise cats make, suggesting that even ancient peoples recognized the distinctive vocalizations of these animals. A cat's purr is one of the most recognizable and soothing sounds in nature, vibrating at a frequency between 25 and 150 hertz. This frequency range has been scientifically shown to promote healing in bones and tissues, reduce pain and swelling, and improve breathing. Cats purr not only when content but also when stressed, injured, or giving birth, using this self-soothing mechanism to heal themselves and calm their nervous systems. The exact mechanism of purring remains somewhat mysterious, but scientists believe it involves the rapid movement of the laryngeal muscles, creating vibrations as the cat breathes in and out. Some larger wild cats like cheetahs can purr, while big cats like lions and tigers cannot purr continuously but can roar instead, a trade-off related to the structure of the hyoid bone in their throats. Cats possess extraordinary senses that far exceed human capabilities in many ways. Their night vision is 6 to 8 times better than ours, thanks to a high concentration of rod receptors in their retinas and a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum, which bounces light back through the photoreceptors, giving them a second chance to absorb the photons. This is why cats' eyes seem to glow in the dark when light shines on them. However, cats are not completely colorblind as once believed. They can see blues and greens but have difficulty distinguishing reds and pinks, seeing the world in a somewhat muted palette compared to human vision. Their field of view is also wider than ours, approximately 200 degrees compared to our 180 degrees, giving them better peripheral vision for detecting movement. The whiskers of a cat, called vibrissae, are highly sophisticated sensory organs that can detect even the slightest changes in air currents. These specialized hairs are embedded 3 times deeper than regular fur and are connected to the muscular and nervous systems, sending tactile information directly to the brain. Cats have whiskers not only on their muzzles but also above their eyes, on their chins, and on the backs of their front legs. The whiskers on a cat's face are generally about as wide as their body, helping them determine whether they can fit through tight spaces. When hunting, cats use their whiskers to detect the movements of prey, and when investigating objects in the dark. Whiskers help them build a three-dimensional map of their surroundings without relying on sight. A cat's hearing is remarkably acute, capable of detecting frequencies from 48 Hz up to 85 kHz, which is significantly higher than both humans and dogs. This exceptional hearing evolved to help cats detect the ultrasonic calls of rodents, their primary prey. Cats can rotate their ears independently up to 180 degrees, using 32 muscles in each ear to pinpoint the exact location of sounds with incredible precision. This directional hearing allows them to locate prey or potential threats within 3 inches of accuracy from up to 3 feet away. The ability to hear such high frequencies also means cats can hear sounds in their environment that are completely inaudible to human ears, creating a sensory experience of the world quite different from our own. The rough texture of a cat's tongue is due to hundreds of tiny, backward-facing barbs called papillae, which are made of keratin, the same material as human fingernails. These papillae serve multiple functions. They help cats groom efficiently by acting like a comb to remove loose fur and debris. They assist in lapping up water by creating a column of liquid that the cat then bites off, and they help scrape meat off bones when eating. A cat spends approximately 30 to 50% of its waking hours grooming itself, making cleanliness one of the primary activities in a cat's life. This self-grooming behavior serves not just hygiene purposes, but also regulates body temperature, distributes natural oils throughout the coat, and provides psychological comfort during stressful situations. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning their bodies are designed to derive nutrition exclusively from animal tissue. Unlike omnivores, cats cannot produce certain essential nutrients from plant sources and must obtain them directly from meat. Taurine, an amino acid essential for cat health, can only be found in animal tissue, and a deficiency can lead to blindness and heart failure. Cats also require higher levels of protein than most other mammals, and their digestive systems are shorter and more acidic than herbivores or omnivores, optimized for processing meat quickly. Their teeth reflect this carnivorous nature, with sharp canines for puncturing and holding prey, and carnassial teeth that shear meat like scissors. Unlike humans and many other animals, cats lack the taste receptors for sweetness, making them indifferent to sugary foods that might attract other species. The flexibility of a cat's spine is legendary, containing 30 more vertebrae than the human spine for a total of approximately 53 vertebrae. This flexibility, combined with a free-floating clavicle bone that is not attached to other bones but held in place by muscles, allows cats to twist and contort their bodies in remarkable ways. This anatomical feature enables cats to right themselves during falls, a reflex known as the aerial righting reflex. When falling, a cat can twist its body in midair so that its feet are facing downward, using its flexible spine and lack of a functional clavicle to accomplish this feat. Interestingly, cats need only about 12 inches of falling distance to successfully right themselves, and they have a non-fatal terminal velocity, meaning they can theoretically survive falls from great heights better than shorter falls, because they have time to spread their bodies like parachutes and land with less force per square inch. Cats have been documented surviving falls from over 30 stories high, though such falls often result in serious injuries. The highest recorded non-fatal fall by a cat was from a 46th floor window in New York City, though the cat did suffer injuries including a collapsed lung and chipped tooth. Scientists studying high-rise falls in cats discovered a phenomenon they called high-rise syndrome, noting that cats falling from 7 to 32 stories had fewer injuries than those falling from shorter distances. This counterintuitive finding suggests that, after reaching terminal velocity around 5 stories, cats relax their bodies rather than tensing up. spreading out to increase drag and landing in a more distributed fashion, much like a flying squirrel. The average cat sleeps between 12 and 16 hours per day, with some cats sleeping up to 20 hours daily. This extensive sleeping behavior evolved from their hunting lifestyle. As wild cats spend enormous amounts of energy in short bursts of intense hunting activity and need prolonged rest to conserve energy for the next hunt. Cats are crepuscular, meaning they are most active during dawn and dusk, which is when their prey species are also most active. During sleep, cats experience both slow-wave sleep and rapid eye movement sleep, just like humans, and they dream during REM sleep, often twitching their paws, whiskers, and tails while chasing dream prey. Kittens and senior cats tend to sleep even more than adult cats, and all cats prefer to sleep in warm, comfortable, elevated locations where they feel safe and can monitor their surroundings. A cat's nose print is as unique as a human fingerprint, with each cat having a distinct pattern of ridges and bumps on their nose pad. This individuality extends to their entire identity, as no two cats are exactly alike in their physical characteristics or personalities. Cats have a special scent organ called the Jacobson's organ, or vomeronasal organ, located in the roof of their mouth, which they use to analyze chemical information from their environment. When a cat appears to be grimacing or making a strange face with its mouth slightly open, it is actually using this organ to better smell something, a behavior called the flamen response. This organ is particularly sensitive to pheromones and allows cats to gather detailed information about other animals, potential mates, and territorial markers. Cats mark their territory through various methods, including scratching, rubbing, and urine spraying. When a cat rubs against you or furniture, it is depositing pheromones from scent glands located on their face, paws, and flanks, essentially claiming you as part of their territory and family group. Scratching serves multiple purposes. It removes the dead outer layer of claws, marks territory both visually and with scent glands in the paws, and serves as a form of exercise and stretching. The act of kneading, where cats push their paws alternately against a soft surface, is a behavior retained from kittenhood when they would knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk production. Adult cats knead when they feel happy and comfortable, often purring simultaneously, and may drool slightly in a state of complete contentment. The average cat has about 60 to 80 million olfactory cells, compared to a human's 5 to 20 million, giving cats a sense of smell approximately 14 times stronger than ours. This powerful olfactory system helps cats navigate their world, identify food, detect other animals, and even sense changes in weather. Cats can detect chemical changes in the air that might indicate an approaching storm, and some cats have been reported to detect illnesses in their human companions, possibly by smelling chemical changes in the person's body. The combination of their regular olfactory system and the Jacobson's organ creates a rich, complex sensory landscape that humans can barely imagine. Cats communicate through a sophisticated system of vocalizations, body language, and scent marking. They can make over 100 different vocal sounds, compared to dogs who can make only about 10. The meow is a sound that cats develop specifically to communicate with humans, as adult cats rarely meow at each other, using this vocalization primarily to get human attention. Each cat develops its own unique dialect with its human family, learning which sounds elicit which responses, and refining their communication accordingly. The chirping or chattering sound cats make when watching birds is thought to be either excitement and frustration at not being able to reach the prey, or possibly mimicry of bird sounds as a hunting strategy. Hissing and growling are defensive warning sounds, while the low yowl is typically used during mating or territorial disputes. The tail of a cat is an extension of the spine, and serves as a crucial communication tool and balance mechanism. A tail held high usually indicates confidence and contentment, while a puffed-up tail signals fear or aggression, making the cat appear larger to potential threats. A tail wrapped around another cat or a human is a sign of friendship and affection, similar to a person putting their arm around a friend. When hunting or navigating narrow spaces, cats use their tails as counterbalances, shifting their weight and adjusting their tail position to maintain equilibrium. The tail also contains about 10% of all the bones in a cat's body, consisting of 19 to 23 vertebrae that provide incredible flexibility and range of motion. Cats can jump up to 6 times their body length in a single bound, thanks to powerful hind leg muscles that act like springs. The average cat can jump to a height of 5 to 6 feet from a standing position, easily reaching kitchen counters, refrigerators, and other high places. This jumping ability evolved as both a hunting and escape mechanism, allowing cats to leap onto prey from above or escape ground-based predators by reaching high branches. The retractable claws of cats provide excellent grip for climbing, with the claws extending when needed and retracting when walking to keep them sharp and protected. However, the curved shape of cat claws makes descending from heights more challenging, which is why cats sometimes become stuck in trees and need assistance getting down. The retractable claw mechanism is controlled by tendons and ligaments that keep the claws sheathed when the cat is relaxed. When the cat wants to extend its claws, it contracts specific muscles that pull the claws downward and forward into the extended position. This retractable design keeps claws sharp by preventing contact with the ground during normal walking, unlike dog claws which wear down from constant contact with hard surfaces. Cats have 5 toes on their front paws but only 4 on their back paws, with the duclo on the front paws positioned higher up and used for gripping during climbing and holding prey. Some cats are polydactyl, meaning they have extra toes, with some individuals having as many as 8 toes on a single paw. The fastest recorded speed for a domestic cat is 30 miles per hour, though most cats sprint at slower speeds during typical play or hunting. In comparison, the cheetah, the fastest land animal and a member of the cat family, can reach speeds of 70 miles per hour in short bursts. However, domestic cats are excellent sprinters for short distances, typically running at full speed for no more than a minute before needing to rest. This sprint-and-rest hunting strategy is characteristic of cats, who rely on stealth, patience, and explosive bursts of speed rather than endurance running. A cat's running gait is digitigrade, meaning they walk on their toes rather than their whole foot, which contributes to their stealth and agility. The whisker spots on a cat's face, called whisker pads or muzzle pads, can sometimes show through light-colored fur as small dots. These spots mark the follicles where the whiskers emerge, and the pattern of these spots is unique to each cat. Some cats have prominent whisker spots that make them appear to have freckles, while in other cats they are barely visible. Whiskers themselves are so sensitive that they can detect changes in air currents as subtle as those created by a mouse moving nearby, allowing cats to hunt effectively even in complete darkness. Cats shed and regrow their whiskers naturally, just like other fur, but they should never be trimmed or cut as this would severely impair the cat's sensory abilities and spatial awareness. Cats have a third eyelid called the nictitating membrane or haw, which helps protect and moisten the eye. This translucent membrane can sometimes be seen when a cat is drowsy or slightly unwell, appearing as a thin white or pink film partially covering the eye from the inner corner. The nictitating membrane sweeps across the eye horizontally, distributing tears and removing debris while still allowing some vision. Most people never notice this membrane because it moves so quickly, but it is a crucial part of feline eye health and protection. Many other animals also have this third eyelid, including birds, reptiles, and some other mammals, but it is vestigial or absent in primates including humans. The collective noun for a group of cats is a clouder, though you might also hear the terms glaring for a group of cats or kindle, specifically for a group of kittens. A female cat is called a queen, particularly when pregnant or nursing, while a male cat is a tom. A neutered male is sometimes called a gib, though this term is less commonly used. The word cat itself comes from the Old English cat, which derives from the late Latin catus, possibly from an Afroasiatic word. The scientific name Felis catus reflects the cat's classification in the Felidae family and Felis genus, sharing this taxonomic family with all other cats from the smallest wild species to the largest tigers and lions. Cats have been in space, with the French sending the first cat, named Fallasleepfast, into space on October 18, 1963. Fallasleepfast traveled over 100 miles above Earth and returned safely, though she was euthanized 2 months later so scientists could examine her brain. She had electrodes implanted in her brain to send neurological signals back to Earth during the flight, contributing to our understanding of how spaceflight affects living organisms. Fallasleepfast was one of 14 cats trained for space missions, selected because she remained calm during the training process. For many years, her contribution to space exploration went largely unrecognized, but in 2019, a bronze statue of Fallasleepfast was unveiled at the International Space University in France, finally honoring her sacrifice and achievement. The world's longest cat measured 48.5 inches from nose to tail tip, a Maine Coon named Stewie who held the Guinness World Record until his death in 2013. Maine Coons are one of the largest domestic cat breeds, with males typically weighing between 13 and 18 pounds, though some individuals exceed 25 pounds. These gentle giants are known for their dog-like personalities, often following their owners around and enjoying interactive play. The Savannah cat, a hybrid breed created by crossing a domestic cat with a serval, can be even larger, with some individuals reaching 30 pounds or more. The smallest cat breeds include the Singapura and Munchkin, with some adult cats weighing as little as 4 pounds. A cat's heart beats approximately 120 to 140 times per minute, roughly twice as fast as a human heart. This faster heart rate supports their higher metabolism and their ability to switch quickly between rest and explosive activity. Cats have a normal body temperature between 100.5 and 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is several degrees warmer than humans. This higher body temperature is one reason cats seek out warm places to sleep and why they enjoy sunbathing, often sprawling in patches of sunlight for hours at a time. The respiratory rate of a cat is typically 20 to 30 breaths per minute when resting, increasing significantly during activity or in hot weather when panting may be necessary for cooling. Cats do not have a true sweet tooth because they lack the taste receptor for sweetness, a genetic trait that sets them apart from most other mammals. This evolutionary adaptation makes sense given their carnivorous diet, as they have no nutritional need to identify sweet plant foods. However, cats can taste things that humans cannot, including ATP, a molecule that signifies fresh meat. This ability helps cats identify the freshest possible food sources, a crucial survival adaptation for an obligate carnivore. Despite not tasting sweetness, some cats show interest in sweet foods, possibly attracted by the fat content, texture, or other flavor components rather than the sugar itself. The oldest known pet cat existed about 9,500 years ago, evidenced by the burial site in Cyprus mentioned earlier. However, the relationship between cats and humans likely extends even further back, with cats gradually moving into human settlements as agriculture developed and rodent populations exploded around grain storage areas. This relationship was initially commensal rather than truly domestic, meaning cats benefited from proximity to humans without humans deliberately managing cat populations. True domestication probably happened gradually over thousands of years, as humans began to recognize the value of cats in pest control, and cats became increasingly tolerant of human presence. Unlike dogs, which were selectively bred for specific traits over thousands of years, cats largely domesticated themselves and retained many more of their wild ancestors' characteristics. Cats spend approximately 70% of their lives sleeping, which amounts to roughly 13 to 16 years for a cat with an average lifespan. During their waking hours, they spend a significant portion grooming, hunting, or playing, and a smaller portion eating and socializing. Wild cats must spend much more time actively hunting than domestic cats spend eating, as hunting success rates can be quite low. Domestic cats retain the instinct to hunt even when well fed, which is why indoor-outdoor cats often bring prey to their owners as gifts. This behavior likely represents either an attempt to teach humans to hunt, similar to how mother cats teach kittens, or a display of their prowess and contribution to the household. A cat's brain is biologically closer to a human brain than a dog's brain is to a human brain. Both humans and cats have identical regions in their brains responsible for emotion, and cats use the same parts of the brain to process information as humans do. The cerebral cortex of a cat, which controls decision-making and problem-solving, has approximately 300 million neurons, while a dog's cortex has about 160 million neurons. However, intelligence in animals is complex and difficult to measure, as different species excel in different areas that matter for their particular ecological niche. Cats demonstrate exceptional problem-solving skills, long-term memory, and the ability to form complex relationships, though they are often less motivated to perform tasks for human approval than dogs are. Cats can recognize their own names among other words, as demonstrated by Japanese researchers who found that cats respond differently to their names compared to similar-sounding words or other cats' names. However, whether cats choose to respond when called is another matter entirely, as their responses are often influenced by their mood, environment, and whether they perceive any benefit to responding. This selective responsiveness is not a sign of lower intelligence, but rather a different social structure compared to dogs, who were bred for thousands of years to be highly responsive to human commands. Cats, maintaining more independence and self-determination, only cooperate when they choose to do so, a trait that frustrates some people and endears them to others. The richest cat in the world inherited a $7 million fortune from its owner, though the exact identity and story varies depending on the source. Several cats throughout history have inherited substantial sums, with some estates establishing trust funds to care for beloved pets. Blackie, a British cat, inherited over $12 million when adjusted for inflation, becoming one of the wealthiest animals ever recorded. These inheritances typically specify that the money be used for the cat's care, with the remainder going to designated charities or individuals after the cat's death. Such bequests demonstrate the deep emotional bonds between some humans and their feline companions, with owners wanting to ensure their cats continue to live comfortably after their deaths. Cats can be trained to use toilets designed for humans, and some cats can even be taught to flush, though this requires patience and gradual training over several months. The training process involves slowly moving the litter box closer to the toilet, then elevating it to toilet height, then replacing it with training trays that fit over the toilet bowl, and finally removing the training aids entirely. While this eliminates the need for litter box maintenance, it can be problematic if the cat develops bathroom anxiety or if medical monitoring through litter box habits becomes necessary. Some veterinarians discourage toilet training because it prevents owners from easily monitoring their cat's urine and feces for signs of health problems. And it goes against the cat's natural instinct to dig and bury their waste. The cat fancy, or the hobby of breeding and showing cats, began in the 19th century with the first modern cat show held at the Crystal Palace in London in 1871. Organized by Harrison Weir, often called the father of the cat fancy. This show featured over 160 cats of various breeds and established standards for judging cats based on specific criteria. Today, cat shows are held worldwide by various organizations including the International Cat Association, the Cat Fanciers Association, and many others. These shows judge cats based on breed standards that specify ideal characteristics for color, pattern, body type, temperament, and other features. While purebred cats get most of the attention at shows, many organizations now include household pet categories, where mixed-breed cats can compete based on their general health, temperament, and grooming. There are over 70 recognized cat breeds worldwide, though the exact number varies depending on which cat registry you consult, as different organizations recognize different breeds and variations. The Cat Fanciers Association recognizes 45 breeds, while the International Cat Association recognizes 73. Some breeds are ancient and developed naturally over centuries in specific geographic regions, such as the Norwegian forest cat, the Turkish Angora, and the Japanese bobtail. Other breeds are modern creations developed through selective breeding programs in the 20th and 21st centuries, such as the Ragdoll, Bengal, and Toyger. Designer breeds continue to emerge as breeders work to create cats with specific appearances, temperaments, or characteristics. Though this practice is controversial due to potential health issues associated with extreme breeding. The Sphinx cat appears hairless, but is actually covered with fine, downy hair that gives them a soft, suede-like texture. Despite their lack of a thick coat, Sphinx cats require more bathing than other cats because they produce oils that would normally be absorbed by fur, and these oils can accumulate on their skin. Sphinx cats also need protection from extreme temperatures, requiring sweaters in cold weather and sunscreen in direct sunlight to prevent sunburn. The hairless mutation occurred naturally and has been observed in cats throughout history, but the modern Sphinx breed was developed in the 1960s through selective breeding in Canada. These cats are known for being particularly affectionate and social, often described as dog-like in their devotion to their owners. Cats cannot taste anything cold, or rather, their ability to taste is significantly reduced when food is cold. This is why many cats prefer their food at or slightly above room temperature, and why they often reject food straight from the refrigerator. In the wild, cats would eat freshly killed prey that retain some body heat, so the preference for warm food aligns with their evolutionary history. This sensitivity extends to smell as well, as cold food releases fewer odor molecules, making it less appealing to cats who rely heavily on their sense of smell to evaluate food. Many cat owners find that slightly warming refrigerated wet food makes it more palatable to picky eaters. The Turkish Van cat is unusual among cats for its apparent love of water and swimming. This breed developed naturally in the Lake Van region of Turkey, where the climate is hot in summer, and cats would cool off by swimming in the lake. Turkish Vans have a water-resistant coat that dries quickly, unlike the water-absorbent coats of most cat breeds. While most cats dislike being immersed in water, many enjoy playing with running water from faucets or drinking from flowing sources rather than still water in bowls. This preference for moving water is an instinct inherited from wild ancestors, who learned that flowing water is less likely to be contaminated than stagnant water. Pet fountains that keep water moving are often more appealing to cats than traditional water bowls. A falling cat can spread its legs like a parachute to increase air resistance, and the falling cat problem has actually been studied extensively in physics and mathematics. The cat riding reflex demonstrates principles of angular momentum and how a system can change its orientation without external forces, a phenomenon relevant to spacecraft orientation and control. Cats solve this problem by rotating different parts of their bodies at different speeds, conserving angular momentum while changing orientation. This ability develops in kittens between 3 and 4 weeks of age and is fully developed by 7 weeks, though deaf cats who also have vestibular problems may not develop this reflex properly. Cats have been associated with witchcraft and superstition throughout history, particularly black cats in Western cultures. During the Middle Ages in Europe, black cats were often killed because of their association with witches and bad luck, contributing to an increase in the rodent population and possibly worsening the spread of the Black Death plague. In other cultures, black cats are considered lucky. In Japanese culture, black cats are thought to bring good fortune, and in Scottish lore, a strange black cat arriving at a home signifies prosperity. The ancient Egyptians venerated all cats, but particularly valued darker cats. These varying cultural attitudes demonstrate how arbitrary superstitions can be, and how they reflect cultural values rather than any inherent quality of the cats themselves. Cats can develop a strong attachment to one particular person in the household, though they can bond with multiple people. The cat's favorite person is usually the one who best reads the cat's body language and respects the cat's boundaries, rather than necessarily the one who feeds them or plays with them most. Cats appreciate consistency, gentle interaction, and respect for their autonomy, forming stronger bonds with people who interact with them on the cat's terms. This selective bonding can sometimes hurt the feelings of other household members who feel they give the cat more attention. But it simply reflects the cat's preference for quality over quantity in their social interactions. The average cat lives between 12 and 18 years, though many cats live into their 20s with good care, nutrition, and veterinary attention. The oldest cat ever recorded was Cream Puff, who lived to be 38 years and 3 days old. Cream Puff lived in Austin, Texas with her owner, who also had another cat that lived to be 34 years old, suggesting that his care methods were particularly effective. Though what exactly made his cats so long-lived remains unclear. Indoor cats typically live longer than outdoor cats because they are protected from predators, vehicles, diseases, and other hazards. With advances in veterinary medicine and nutrition, cats today often live longer than those in previous generations, with indoor cats regularly reaching 15 to 20 years of age. Cats are incredibly clean animals, and a cat refusing to use a dirty litter box is not being difficult, but rather following strong instincts for hygiene and safety. In the wild, cats bury their waste to avoid attracting predators, and to avoid fouling their territory with odors that might alert prey to their presence. A dirty litter box violates these deep-seated survival instincts, causing stress and sometimes leading cats to eliminate elsewhere. Most cats prefer fine-grained, unscented litter that mimics sand or soil, with a depth of about 2 to 3 inches. The general rule is to have one more litter box than the number of cats in the household, placed in quiet, accessible locations where cats feel safe and undisturbed. When a cat slowly blinks at you, it is often called a cat kiss and indicates trust, affection, and contentment. You can communicate back to your cat by slowly blinking at them, which many cats will reciprocate. This slow blink behavior reduces tension between cats and can help calm an anxious cat or build trust with a new cat. In cat communication, a direct stare is often perceived as threatening or challenging, while slow blinking and looking away signal peaceful intentions and relaxation. Understanding and using this simple form of feline communication can significantly improve your relationship with cats. Cats are lactose intolerant after weaning, meaning that despite the popular image of cats drinking milk, most adult cats cannot properly digest dairy products. Kittens produce the enzyme lactase to digest their mother's milk, but this enzyme production decreases as they mature and transition to a meat-based diet. Feeding adult cats milk can cause digestive upset, including diarrhea and stomach pain. If you want to give your cat a dairy treat, lactose-free cat milk products are available, though cats really only need water to drink. The association between cats and milk likely stems from farm cats who would drink the cream from milk buckets, and from times when cats were commonly fed table scraps including dairy products. Cats knead with their paws because it is a behavior retained from kittenhood when they would knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow while nursing. Adult cats knead when they feel happy, comfortable, and secure, often targeting soft surfaces like blankets, pillows, or even their human's lap or stomach. The behavior is called making biscuits by many cat owners because the motion resembles kneading dough. Some cats drool slightly while kneading, which is another sign of complete contentment and regression to kittenish behavior. Kneading may also have a territorial component, as cats have scent glands in their paws and may be marking the kneaded object or person as their own. A cat can rotate its ears 180 degrees independently of each other, with 32 muscles controlling each ear. This allows cats to locate sounds with extraordinary precision without moving their heads. When a cat is relaxed and comfortable, its ears will be in a natural forward position, but when alert or hunting, the ears prick forward to catch every sound. Ears flattened against the head signal fear or aggression, creating a defensive posture that also protects the delicate ears during potential fights. Ears rotated backward slightly indicate irritation or uncertainty. Reading cat ear positions is one of the most reliable ways to understand a cat's emotional state. Cats spend between 15 and 50% of their waking hours grooming themselves, a behavior that serves multiple functions beyond simple cleanliness. Grooming distributes natural oils throughout the coat, providing some water resistance and keeping the fur healthy. It removes loose fur, dead skin, and parasites. Licking provides some cooling effect through evaporation in hot weather, as cats do not sweat except through their paw pads. Grooming also has psychological benefits, with cats often grooming when stressed or anxious as a self-soothing behavior. When cats groom each other, called allogrooming, it strengthens social bonds and helps cats mark each other with their scent, creating a shared group scent. The pupils of a cat's eyes can change size dramatically, from wide saucers that let in maximum light in darkness to tiny slits in bright conditions. This ability to control how much light enters the eye helps protect the sensitive retina and also provides excellent depth perception and focus at varying distances. The vertical slit pupil is characteristic of ambush predators who hunt at various times of day, while round pupils are more common in active pursuit predators. The shape of the pupil opening can also indicate a cat's emotional state, with very wide pupils sometimes indicating excitement or fear beyond just response to light levels. Cats are digitigrade, meaning they walk on their toes rather than their whole foot like humans do. This toe-walking posture is one reason cats can move so silently, as they have thick, soft pads that cushion their steps and muffle sound. The pads also provide traction and contain numerous nerve endings that provide sensory feedback about the surface they are walking on. Cats sweat through glands in their paw pads, which is why you might see wet paw prints when a cat is stressed at the veterinarian. The paw pads also contain scent glands, so when cats scratch surfaces, they leave both visual marks and scent marks. Cats can get motion sickness in cars just like humans, often making car travel stressful for both cats and owners. The symptoms include drooling, vomiting, and excessive meowing or yowling. Motion sickness in cats is caused by the same inner ear disturbances that affect humans, though cats may be more prone to it because car travel is less familiar to them. With gradual desensitization, some cats can become more comfortable with car travel, starting with just sitting in the parked car with treats and slowly progressing to short trips. However, some cats never become comfortable with vehicles and are better served by staying home when possible. Orange tabby cats are more likely to be male than female, with approximately 80% of orange cats being male. This is because the gene for orange color is carried on the X chromosome, and males only need one copy of the gene to be orange, while females need 2 copies. Female cats with one orange gene and one black or brown gene become tortoiseshell or calico, displaying patches of both colors. Conversely, calico and tortoiseshell cats are almost always female, with male calicos being extremely rare and usually sterile due to having an extra X chromosome. These genetic quirks create the interesting statistical skew in coat color by sex. Cats can make over 100 different vocalizations, using their voice much more than many other carnivores to communicate with both other cats and humans. The meow itself has multiple variations in pitch, length, and volume that convey different meanings. A short meow is often a greeting, while longer, more insistent meows may indicate demands or complaints. The trill or chirrup sound is a friendly greeting often used by mother cats calling kittens. The caterwaul, a loud, wailing sound, is typically associated with mating behavior or territorial disputes. Each cat develops its own unique way of communicating with its human family, with some cats being quite vocal and others rarely making a sound. Declawing a cat is actually an amputation of the last bone of each toe, equivalent to cutting off a human's finger at the last knuckle. This procedure, properly called onychectomy, is considered inhumane and is illegal in many countries and some American cities. Declawing can lead to chronic pain, behavioral problems including litter box avoidance and increased biting, and permanent damage to the cat's gait and balance. Many veterinarians refuse to perform the procedure unless absolutely medically necessary. Alternatives to declawing include regular nail trimming, providing scratching posts, using nail caps, and training. Understanding that scratching is a normal and necessary behavior for cats, not a behavioral problem, is important for creating realistic expectations. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning they must eat meat to survive and cannot be healthy on a vegetarian or vegan diet. Their bodies require nutrients found only in animal tissue, including taurine, arachidonic acid, vitamin A in its preformed state, and high levels of protein. Unlike dogs, who are omnivores and can potentially survive on a plant-based diet with careful supplementation, cats lack the metabolic pathways to produce these essential nutrients from plant sources. Feeding a cat a vegetarian diet will eventually lead to serious health problems including blindness, heart disease, and death. This dietary requirement is not a matter of preference but of biological necessity. The claws of a cat grow throughout their life in layers, similar to how human nails grow. The outer layer becomes dull with use and is shed to reveal the sharp layer beneath, which is why cats need to scratch, not to sharpen their claws but to remove the worn outer sheaths. Regular scratching keeps claws healthy and at an appropriate length. Indoor cats may need periodic nail trims because they do not wear down their claws as much as outdoor cats, and overgrown nails can curl and grow into the paw pad, causing pain and infection. The scratching behavior also serves to stretch the muscles in the cat's legs, shoulders, and back, making it an important part of feline health and well-being. Cats groom humans by licking them, which is a sign of affection and acceptance. When your cat licks you, they are treating you as a member of their social group and claiming you with their scent. The sandpapery texture of the cat's tongue can be uncomfortable, especially if the cat licks the same spot repeatedly, but it is meant as a gesture of love and bonding. Some cats also groom their human's hair, particularly if the human has just showered, possibly because they want to restore the familiar scent, or because they are attempting to help groom a family member as they would another cat. These grooming sessions are important social behaviors that strengthen the bond between cat and human. A cat's brain is about 2 inches long and weighs approximately 1 ounce, making it relatively small compared to body size but quite complex in structure. Despite being smaller than a dog's brain, a cat's brain has a surface folding of the cerebral cortex similar to humans, which allows for greater processing power. The brain controls all of the cat's sophisticated behaviors, including hunting strategies, social interactions, memory formation, and problem solving. Research has shown that cats have excellent long-term memory and can remember specific locations, people, and events for years, particularly if the memory is associated with strong emotions or important outcomes like finding food or experiencing danger. Cats are crepuscular, meaning they are naturally most active during twilight hours at dawn and dusk, which is when their prey species are also most active. This can be frustrating for owners who want to sleep through the early morning, but are woken by an energetic cat ready to play or demanding breakfast. Understanding this natural rhythm can help owners adjust their expectations and perhaps schedule playtime before bed to tire the cat out. Cats who are bored or understimulated during the day may become more active at night, running around the house in what owners call the zoomies or midnight crazies. Providing adequate enrichment, play, and mental stimulation during the day can help reduce nighttime activity. A cat's claws are connected to bones and muscles by tendons and ligaments in a complex system that allows for precise control. When the cat relaxes its paw, the claws naturally retract into sheaths to keep them sharp and protected. When the cat contracts its digital flexor muscles, the claws extend forward and downward. This retractable mechanism is different from dog claws, which are always extended and wear down with normal walking. The dew claw on a cat's front paws is positioned higher on the leg and does not make contact with the ground, remaining sharp for gripping prey and climbing. The claws on the back feet are typically less sharp than those on the front because they are used differently and do not retract as completely. Cats bury their feces as an instinctive behavior to avoid attracting predators and to avoid alerting prey to their presence. In multi-cat households or cat colonies, dominant cats may leave their feces uncovered as a territorial display, while subordinate cats carefully bury theirs. This explains why some cats are meticulous about covering their waste while others are not. The act of digging and burying is so instinctive that even very young kittens will attempt to bury their waste. And cats raised without access to litter or soil will still make covering motions with their paws. This behavior is one reason cats are relatively easy to litter box train compared to many other animals. Cats can see in light levels 6 times lower than what humans need to see, making them excellent hunters at dawn, dusk, and even on dark nights. However, in complete darkness with absolutely no light at all, cats cannot see any better than humans, as their eyes still require some light to function. The enhanced night vision comes from the high number of rod cells in their retinas and the tapetum lucidum that reflects light back through the photoreceptors. This gives light two chances to be detected, dramatically improving sensitivity in low-light conditions. The trade-off is that cats see less detail and color than humans during bright daylight, as they have fewer cone cells which are responsible for detailed color vision. When cats hunt, they use a stalking behavior that involves crouching low, moving slowly and silently, then pouncing in a sudden explosive burst of speed. This hunting strategy is designed for ambush rather than pursuit, as cats are sprinters rather than endurance runners. The hunting sequence is triggered by movement, which is why cats are so fascinated by moving toys and will often ignore stationary objects. Even well-fed domestic cats retain this hunting instinct and will hunt bugs, toys, or small animals given the opportunity. The behavior is so instinctive that it cannot be trained out of cats, though providing appropriate outlets like interactive toys can redirect the hunting energy. Cats have a remarkable ability to compress their bodies to fit through very tight spaces, thanks to their flexible spine and free-floating clavicle bones. If a cat can get its head through an opening, it can usually squeeze the rest of its body through as well, which is why cats can vanish into impossibly small spaces. This flexibility helped wild cats hide from larger predators and also helped them enter the burrows of prey animals. Modern domestic cats still love small, enclosed spaces where they feel safe and protected on all sides, whether it is a cardboard box, a paper bag, or the space under a bed. Providing hiding spots helps cats feel secure, especially in new or stressful situations. The hairballs that cats occasionally vomit are actually called trichobzors and are formed from hair that the cat swallowed during grooming. The hair accumulates in the stomach because cats cannot digest it, and when the mass becomes large enough, the cat regurgitates it. While occasional hairballs are normal, frequent hairballs can indicate excessive grooming due to stress or skin problems, or they can indicate digestive issues. Regular brushing can reduce hairballs by removing loose fur before the cat swallows it. And special foods formulated to reduce hairballs can help move hair through the digestive system, rather than allowing it to accumulate in the stomach. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, forehead, flanks, paws, and around their tail. When they rub against objects or people, they deposit pheromones from these glands, marking the object as familiar and safe. This behavior, called bunting when done with the head, is both a marking behavior and a sign of affection. Cats create scent maps of their environment, marking familiar objects and people with their scent, and becoming distressed when unfamiliar scents appear or when their scent marks are removed by cleaning. This is why some cats become upset after their environment is thoroughly cleaned, as their comforting scent nose has a unique pattern of ridges similar to a human fingerprint, and no two cat noses are alike. The nose leather can be various colors including pink, black, brown, or spotted, often related to the cat's coat color. Cats use their noses not just for smelling, but also for temperature regulation, and as a sensory tool to explore their environment. A cat's nose may be wet or dry at different times, and either state can be normal. The myth that a dry nose indicates illness is not accurate, though very crusty or cracked nose leather might warrant veterinary attention. Cats can develop strong preferences for certain textures, flavors, and even shapes of food based on their experiences as kittens. The period from 2 to 7 weeks of age is critical for forming food preferences, and cats exposed to variety during this time are more likely to accept different foods later in life. Cats who only eat one type of food during kittenhood may become extremely picky eaters as adults, refusing to try anything new. This neophobia, or fear of new things, extends to food and can make dietary changes difficult. Introducing variety early and gradually transitioning between foods can help prevent a cat from becoming overly particular about their diet. A group of kittens born to the same mother at the same time is called a litter, and a mother cat can have kittens from multiple fathers in the same litter. This is because cats are induced ovulators, meaning they release eggs in response to mating, and they can mate with multiple males during their fertility window. Each egg may be fertilized by sperm from a different male, resulting in kittens with different fathers all born together. This explains why kittens in a litter can sometimes look remarkably different from each other, varying in color, pattern, and even in body type if the fathers were from different breeds. Cats need because the behavior is associated with comfort and contentment from kittenhood, and they may also need to prepare a sleeping spot. Softening the surface as their wild ancestors would have flattened grass or leaves to make a comfortable bed. Some behaviorists believe kneading also has a territorial component, as cats have scent glands in their paw pads and may be marking their favorite sleeping spots or their favorite humans as their own. The rhythmic motion of kneading may also have a self-soothing effect, similar to how some humans rock or tap when relaxed. Cats are very sensitive to changes in routine and environment, often becoming stressed by things that humans might not even notice. Moving furniture, changing the location of the litter box, introducing new household members whether human or animal, or even changing the brand of litter can cause stress and behavioral changes in cats. This sensitivity to change is related to their territorial nature and their reliance on familiar scents and locations for security. When changes are necessary, making them gradually and maintaining as much of the cat's routine as possible can help minimize stress. The average house cat can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour in short bursts, making them surprisingly fast for their size. This speed is necessary for their hunting strategy, which involves stalking close to prey and then launching a swift attack. Cats cannot maintain these speeds for more than a minute or so before becoming exhausted, which is why they are ambush predators rather than pursuit predators. After a sprint, cats need time to rest and recover, which is why you will often see a cat lie down immediately after an energetic play session or chase. Cats have incredible balance and proprioception, always seeming to know exactly where their body is in space. This sense of body position comes from sensory receptors in the muscles, tendons, and joints, combined with input from the vestibular system in the inner ear. This is why cats can walk on incredibly narrow surfaces like fence tops, and why they land so precisely when jumping to high places. However, cats can still misjudge distances or slip, particularly on smooth surfaces where they cannot get good traction with their claws. Despite their reputation for always landing on their feet, cats can and do fall and get injured, so safety precautions like window screens are important. When a cat presents its rear end to you, lifting its tail high in the air, it is actually a greeting and sign of trust, not rudeness. This behavior comes from how cats greet each other, with subordinate or friendly cats presenting their rear to be sniffed by more dominant or familiar cats. While humans generally do not appreciate this form of greeting, it is a compliment in cat language and should be understood as a sign of affection and trust. The raised tail with the tip slightly curved is also a general sign of happiness and confidence in cats. Cats purr at a frequency that has been shown to promote bone density and healing, leading some researchers to suggest that the purr is a self-healing mechanism. The vibrations may help keep bones and tissues strong even during long periods of inactivity, which cats experience daily through extensive sleeping. The purr frequency of 25 to 150 Hz corresponds with therapeutic frequencies used in some medical treatments for bone growth and pain relief. While this is still being researched, it presents an interesting possibility that purring serves both emotional and physical healing functions for cats. A cat's whiskers are not just on their face, but also on the back of their front legs, called carpal whiskers. These leg whiskers help cats gauge their footing and sense the movements of prey they have pinned down with their paws. All whisker types are extremely sensitive to touch and air movement, functioning as an early warning system that detects changes in the environment before the cat's other senses pick them up. Damage to or loss of whiskers can significantly impair a cat's ability to navigate, hunt, and interact with their environment, though whiskers do grow back if they are cut or accidentally damaged. Cats have been documented living with humans for thousands of years, but they remain less completely domesticated than dogs, retaining more of their wild instincts and behaviors. This semi-domesticated status is one reason cats can survive as feral animals much more easily than most dogs can, hunting and living independently of humans. However, truly wild cat species and feral domestic cats face many dangers, and most domestic cats live longer, healthier lives with human care than they would on their own. The relationship between cats and humans is perhaps more accurately described as a partnership of convenience that has evolved into genuine companionship for both species. The world is home to approximately 600 million domestic cats, with populations ranging from household pets to community cats to completely feral colonies. Cats are found on every continent except Antarctica, adapting to environments from deserts to cities to farms. This remarkable success as a species is due to their hunting prowess, adaptability, reproductive efficiency, and their mutually beneficial relationship with humans. However, large populations of unowned cats can impact local ecosystems, particularly bird and small mammal populations, leading to complex debates about cat management, trap-neuter-return programs, and the responsibility of cat ownership. Cats have an extraordinary ability to squeeze through openings that seem impossibly small, and they will often test whether they can fit through a space by sticking their head through first. If the head fits, the rest of the body usually follows, though occasionally a cat will get stuck and need assistance. This compressibility comes from their flexible spine and the way their shoulder blades are attached only by muscle rather than being rigidly connected to their skeleton. This anatomical feature also contributes to their impressive jumping ability and their capacity to rotate and twist their bodies in ways that would be impossible for less flexible animals. The domestication of cats likely began when humans transitioned from hunting and gathering to agriculture, creating permanent settlements with stored grain that attracted rodents. Wild cats were drawn to these concentrations of prey, and humans quickly recognized the value of having cats around to control pest populations. Unlike the active domestication of dogs, where humans selectively bred wolves for specific traits, cats essentially domesticated themselves by choosing to live near human settlements. Over thousands of years, cats that were less fearful and more tolerant of humans had better access to the abundant prey around human habitations, gradually creating a population of cats that could coexist peacefully with people. The Maine Coon is one of the largest domestic cat breeds and has several distinctive features beyond its size. These cats have tufted ears, bushy tails, and a ruff of fur around their necks that makes them look somewhat like small lions. Their large, tufted paws act like snowshoes, helping them walk on snow without sinking, an adaptation to the harsh winters of Maine where the breed developed. Maine Coons are also known for their dog-like personalities, often following their owners from room to room, playing fetch, and even learning to walk on leashes. Despite their imposing size, they have small, chirping voices that seem incongruous with their large bodies. Cats are nearsighted compared to humans, seeing clearly only up to about 20 feet away, with objects farther away appearing blurry. This nearsightedness is not a disadvantage for cats, as they evolved to hunt small prey at close range rather than spot distant objects. What cats lack in distance vision they make up for in motion detection, able to spot the tiniest movement of a mouse in grass or a bug crawling across the floor. Their eyes are also positioned more toward the front of their head compared to prey animals, giving them better depth perception for judging distances when pouncing, which is essential for successful hunting. A cat's nose is highly sensitive to temperature as well as smell, and cats often touch their noses to objects to gather information about temperature and texture as well as scent. The nose is also an indicator of a cat's body temperature regulation, as cats do not sweat over most of their bodies like humans do. Instead, they regulate temperature primarily through panting, seeking cool or warm locations, and grooming. The evaporation of saliva during grooming provides some cooling effect in hot weather, while seeking sunny spots and curling up in tight balls helps conserve heat in cold weather. Cats have remarkable hearing that extends into the ultrasonic range, allowing them to hear the high-pitched vocalizations of rodents and other small prey. This ability gives cats a significant advantage when hunting, as they can locate prey by sound alone, even in darkness or when the prey is hidden in grass or debris. The frequency range of cat hearing extends up to 85 kHz, compared to the human upper limit of about 20 kHz and the dog upper limit of about 45 kHz. This means cats can hear sounds that are completely inaudible to both their human companions and to dogs. The social structure of cats is more complex than many people realize, with cats forming both solitary and group living arrangements depending on resource availability. In areas with abundant food, cats may live in colonies with related females cooperating to raise kittens and defend territory. These colonies often have a complex social hierarchy, with dominant and subordinate individuals. However, cats are also capable of solitary living and do not require the company of other cats to be psychologically healthy, unlike truly social animals like dogs. This flexibility in social structure is one reason cats adapt well to various living situations, from single-cat households to multi-cat homes. When cats make the chattering or chittering sound while watching birds or other prey they cannot reach, they may be experiencing frustration, excitement, or possibly practicing their killing bite. Some researchers believe this behavior might be an attempt to mimic bird sounds to lure prey closer, though this theory is debated. What is clear is that this distinctive vocalization occurs specifically when cats see prey they want to hunt but cannot reach, suggesting it is connected to the hunting drive. The behavior is most commonly observed when cats watch birds through windows, creating a situation of high arousal with no outlet for the hunting instinct. Cats have 5 toes on each front paw and 4 on each back paw for a total of 18 toes, though polydactyl cats may have additional toes. The front paws have a dewclaw positioned higher on the leg that does not touch the ground during normal walking, but is used for gripping during climbing and holding prey. Some cats are born with extra toes due to a genetic mutation, with the record being a cat with 28 toes. Polydactyl cats, also called Hemingway cats because writer Ernest Hemingway was known for keeping them, are considered lucky in some maritime cultures and were often kept on ships as they were believed to be better hunters and climbers. The lifespan of outdoor cats is significantly shorter than indoor cats, averaging only 2 to 5 years compared to 15 to 20 years for indoor cats. Outdoor cats face numerous hazards including vehicles, predators, diseases, parasites, poisoning, and fighting with other cats. Even in relatively safe suburban areas, outdoor cats face risks that indoor cats never encounter. However, the debate about indoor versus outdoor cats is complex, with some arguing that outdoor access provides important environmental enrichment and exercise. Many cat experts recommend supervised outdoor access, such as enclosed cat patios or walking on leashes, as a compromise that provides some benefits of outdoor access while minimizing dangers. Cats can jump approximately 5 to 6 times their body length in a single leap, which for an average cat means jumping to heights of 5 to 6 feet from a standing position. This impressive jumping ability comes from powerful hind leg muscles that can store and release energy like springs. Cats prepare for jumps by crouching and wiggling their hindquarters, a behavior that helps them gauge distance and prepare their muscles for the explosive effort required. The wiggling may also provide better traction by positioning their back feet optimally. After landing, cats often groom themselves, possibly as a way to calm themselves after the exertion or to appear nonchalant if the jump did not go as planned. The mutation that creates the Manx cat's characteristic bobtail or complete lack of tail is a genetic dominant trait, meaning only one parent needs to carry the gene for offspring to potentially be tailless. However, when two completely tailless Manx cats are bred together, some offspring may die before birth due to genetic abnormalities, so responsible breeders are careful about their breeding programs. Manx cats sometimes have health issues related to their taillessness, including spinal problems and difficulties with balance, though many Manx cats live healthy, normal lives. The breed originated on the Isle of Man and has been known for centuries, with various legends explaining the origin of the tailless cats. Cats are particularly vulnerable to certain toxins that are safe for humans and even for dogs. Plants including lilies, azaleas, tulips, and many others can cause serious illness or death in cats even in small amounts. Human medications including acetaminophen and ibuprofen are extremely toxic to cats and should never be given without veterinary guidance. Essential oils can be dangerous to cats because cats lack certain liver enzymes needed to metabolize them, leading to toxic accumulation. Chocolate, while dangerous to dogs, is also toxic to cats, though cats are less likely to eat it because they cannot taste sweetness. Responsible cat owners must carefully cat-proof their homes and be aware of potential toxins that their feline companions might encounter. The Siamese cat breed is one of the oldest and most recognizable cat breeds, known for its distinctive color points where the face, ears, paws, and tail are darker than the body. This pattern is caused by a temperature-sensitive mutation that makes pigment develop only in the cooler parts of the body. Siamese kittens are born white because they were warm in the womb, and their points darken as they grow and the extremities of their bodies become cooler than their core. Siamese cats are also known for being particularly vocal, often carrying on long conversations with their owners in loud, distinctive voices. They are highly social cats that form strong bonds with their human families and may become depressed if left alone for long periods. Cats can rotate their front paws inward to groom their faces, using their moistened paws like washcloths to clean areas their tongues cannot easily reach. This behavior demonstrates the remarkable flexibility of their front legs and shoulders. Cats typically groom in a specific sequence, starting with licking their paws and then using those paws to wash their face and head, then proceeding down their body from front to back. This systematic approach ensures complete coverage and may also serve as a comforting ritual that provides psychological benefits beyond simple cleanliness. The Egyptian Mau is one of the few naturally spotted domestic cat breeds and is one of the fastest domestic cats, capable of running at speeds exceeding 30 miles per hour. This breed also has a longer hind leg that gives it a distinctive prancing gait and contributes to its speed and leaping ability. Egyptian mouse are thought to be descendants of the cats depicted in ancient Egyptian art, making them one of the breeds with the longest documented history. They are known for their loyalty to their families and their musical voices that can create a range of chirps, clicks, and meows. When cats bring dead or live prey to their owners, it is often interpreted as the cat sharing food with the family or attempting to teach hunting skills, as a mother cat would teach her kittens. While we cannot know the exact motivation, it is clear that cats view their human families as part of their social group and may be attempting to contribute to the household or share their success. Some cats may also be bringing prey to a safe location where they can eat without competition. Regardless of the motivation, this behavior demonstrates that the cat considers the home and its human occupants as important parts of its territory and social structure. Cats spend approximately 15% of their lives in deep sleep and 25% in light sleep, with the remaining 60% divided between rest and activity. During deep sleep, cats experience rapid eye movement similar to humans and appear to dream, often twitching their paws, tails, and whiskers. Researchers believe cats dream about their daily activities, including hunting, playing, and social interactions. The sleep cycle of cats is polyphasic, meaning they sleep multiple times throughout the day rather than having one long sleep period like humans typically do. This sleep pattern evolved because cats in the wild would rest between hunting attempts, conserving energy while remaining alert enough to detect danger or opportunities. A cat's territorial instinct is strong, and many cats become stressed when their territory is violated by unfamiliar cats, people, or even new furniture and objects. Cats mark their territory through scratching, rubbing, and sometimes urine spraying, creating a scent map that makes them feel secure. When multiple cats share a territory, they typically establish time-sharing arrangements where different cats have access to desired locations at different times, reducing conflict. Understanding and respecting a cat's territorial needs, including providing adequate space, resources, and hiding spots, is essential for maintaining a happy, stress-free cat. Cats have a remarkable ability to find their way home over long distances, though the mechanism is not fully understood. Some researchers believe cats use a combination of scent trails, visual landmarks, the Earth's magnetic field, and other environmental cues to navigate. There are documented cases of cats traveling hundreds of miles to return home after being lost or left behind, though the accuracy and reliability of these stories varies. Not all cats have strong homing abilities, and lost cats may become disoriented and unable to find their way back. This is why microchipping and keeping identification on cats is important, as relying on natural homing instinct alone is risky. The Persian cat breed is characterized by its long, flowing coat, flat face, and large eyes. This breed requires daily grooming to prevent matting and skin problems, making Persians more high-maintenance than short-haired breeds. The flat-faced structure of Persians and similar brachycephalic breeds can lead to breathing difficulties, dental problems, and eye issues, raising ethical questions about breeding cats with extreme physical features that may compromise their health. Despite these concerns, Persians remain one of the most popular cat breeds due to their sweet temperaments and beautiful appearance. Cats that live together may form close bonds and engage in allogrooming, sleeping together, and playing together. These bonded pairs or groups often become distressed if separated and clearly enjoy each other's company. However, not all cats living together like each other, and some maintain a tense coexistence rather than genuine friendship. Understanding feline body language and social signals can help owners recognize whether their cats are truly bonded or merely tolerating each other. Providing adequate resources, including multiple litter boxes, feeding stations, and resting spots, can reduce competition and tension in multi-cat households. A cat's whiskers are so sensitive that they can detect changes in air currents, as subtle as those created by nearby objects, effectively allowing cats to see with their whiskers in total darkness. This sensitivity means that whiskers should never be trimmed, as this would severely handicap the cat's ability to navigate and understand its environment. Whiskers grow to approximately the width of the cat's body, helping the cat judge whether it can fit through tight spaces. A cat with damaged or missing whiskers may appear clumsy or hesitant, bumping into objects and misjudging jumps until the whiskers grow back. Cats have been sent into space by various countries as part of space research programs. In addition to Fallasette, the French cat who survived her space flight, other cats were used in space research, though not all survived. These early space missions with animal subjects were crucial for understanding how spaceflight affects living organisms and paved the way for human space exploration. While using animals in such experiments is now controversial and largely discontinued, these early test subjects contributed important scientific knowledge that benefits both human and animal medicine today. The ragdoll cat breed is known for going limp when picked up, like a ragdoll, which is how the breed got its name. Ragdolls are large, affectionate cats with striking blue eyes and pointed color patterns similar to Siamese cats. They are often described as dog-like because they frequently follow their owners around, greet them at the door, and can be taught to play fetch. Ragdolls are generally calm, gentle cats that do well in households with children and other pets. However, their trusting, relaxed nature means they should be kept indoors, as they may not adequately protect themselves from dangers that more cautious cats would avoid. Cats can suffer from anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues just as humans and other animals can. Signs of feline anxiety include hiding, aggression, excessive grooming, loss of appetite, and inappropriate elimination. Cats can become anxious due to changes in their environment, lack of stimulation, separation from bonded companions whether human or animal, or past trauma. Treatment for feline anxiety may include environmental enrichment, pheromone diffusers, behavior modification, and in some cases medication prescribed by a veterinarian. Recognizing and addressing mental health issues in cats improves their quality of life significantly. The sense of balance in cats is controlled by the vestibular apparatus in the inner ear, which helps cats maintain equilibrium and know which way is up. This same system enables the aerial righting reflex that allows falling cats to twist their bodies and land feet first. Cats with vestibular problems may appear dizzy, walk in circles, tilt their head, or have difficulty jumping and climbing. Vestibular issues can be caused by ear infections, head trauma, or other medical conditions and require veterinary attention. Most cats recover well from vestibular problems with appropriate treatment. Cats are induced ovulators, meaning female cats release eggs only after mating occurs rather than following a regular cycle like humans. This reproductive strategy increases the likelihood of pregnancy when breeding occurs and is common among solitary hunters who may not encounter mates frequently. A female cat in heat may mate multiple times with multiple males, and because eggs are released after mating, a single litter can have multiple fathers. Female cats can go into heat as early as 4 months of age, and if not spayed, they will cycle in and out of heat every 2 to 3 weeks during breeding season, which can be stressful for both the cat and the owner. The gestation period for cats is approximately 63 to 67 days, or roughly 2 months. A pregnant cat will show physical changes including enlarged nipples, increased appetite, and eventually a swelling abdomen. Toward the end of pregnancy, the cat will seek out a quiet, safe place to give birth, and if not provided with a suitable nesting box, she may choose a closet, drawer, or other secluded spot. Most cats give birth without complications, though first-time mothers or cats with very large litters may need assistance. Kittens are born blind and deaf, completely dependent on their mother for warmth, food, and stimulation to eliminate waste. Kittens open their eyes between 7 and 14 days after birth, though their vision is still developing and will not reach full acuity for several more weeks. Their eyes are typically blue at first and may change color as they mature. Kittens begin to hear around 2 weeks of age and start to walk around 3 weeks, though they are wobbly and uncoordinated at first. The socialization period for kittens is between 2 and 7 weeks of age, and positive experiences with humans, other animals, and various environments during this critical period help create well-adjusted adult cats. Kittens separated from their mothers too early may develop behavioral problems and health issues. Mother cats teach their kittens to hunt by bringing them progressively more challenging prey, starting with dead animals, then injured animals, and finally live, healthy prey. Kittens learn by watching their mothers and through play fighting with their litter mates, developing the skills they need to hunt successfully. Even domestic cats whose mothers never hunted show some hunting instinct, suggesting that while learning improves hunting ability, the basic drive and behaviors are innate. Kittens engage in play that mimics hunting behaviors including stalking, pouncing, and biting, practicing and refining their skills through repetitive play. Cats have lived on ships for hundreds of years, serving as ratters to protect food supplies and cargo from rodents. Ship's cats were considered good luck by sailors and were believed to have special powers, including the ability to predict storms. Famous ship's cats include Tittles, who traveled more than 30,000 miles during his career on Royal Navy ships, and Unsinkable Sam, who survived the sinking of 3 different ships during World War II. Modern naval vessels rarely carry cats due to regulations and changes in how ships operate, but the tradition of ship's cats remains an interesting part of maritime history. The tabby pattern is the most common coat pattern in cats and comes in several varieties including classic or blotched, mackerel or striped, spotted and ticked. The distinctive M shape on the forehead of tabby cats has inspired various legends, including the story that the Virgin Mary blessed a tabby cat who comforted baby Jesus, leaving her initial on the cat's forehead. Tabby is not a breed but a coat pattern that appears in many different breeds and in mixed-breed cats. The tabby pattern comes from the original wild cat ancestors and provides excellent camouflage in natural settings with grass, leaves, and dappled light. White cats with blue eyes have a high probability of being deaf due to a genetic link between the white coat gene, blue eye color, and deafness. Not all white cats are deaf, and not all white cats with blue eyes are deaf, but the correlation is strong. White cats with one blue eye may be deaf in the ear on the same side, as the blue eye while having normal hearing in the other ear. Deaf cats can live happy, healthy lives with appropriate accommodations, though they should be kept indoors for safety as they cannot hear approaching dangers. Deaf cats may be more vocal than hearing cats and may startle more easily when touched unexpectedly. Cats sometimes eat grass and then vomit it back up, a behavior that serves multiple purposes. Grass provides fiber and may help cats pass hairballs through their digestive system, though when the grass irritates the stomach, it may trigger vomiting instead. Grass may also provide trace nutrients or enzymes that cats find beneficial. Some researchers believe grass eating helps cats expel intestinal parasites, though this theory is less well supported. Cat grass, which is actually oat, wheat, or barley grass, can be grown indoors for cats to chew on, providing a safe alternative to outdoor grass that may be treated with pesticides or fertilizers. The purr of a cat is unique among vocalizations because it occurs continuously during both inhalation and exhalation, creating an uninterrupted sound. The exact physiological mechanism of purring is still debated, but the most accepted theory involves rapid contraction and relaxation of muscles within the larynx, causing the vocal cords to separate and come together rapidly. This creates the characteristic purring vibration and sound. Some researchers believe that the intermittent nerve signal that drives the muscle contractions comes from a neural oscillator in the cat's brain, essentially a purr center that activates when the cat is in certain emotional states. Cats communicate their moods and intentions through tail position and movement. A tail held high indicates confidence and contentment, often seen when a cat approaches a favorite person or another friendly cat. A tail tucked between the legs signals fear or submission. A thrashing tail indicates agitation or irritation, very different from a dog's wagging tail, which usually signals happiness. A slightly curved tail with a hooked tip often indicates playful curiosity. A puffed-up tail, where the hair stands on end making the tail appear 2 or 3 times its normal size, signals extreme fear or aggression, making the cat appear larger to potential threats. Senior cats, typically defined as those over 11 years old, have different needs than younger cats. They may develop arthritis, making it painful to climb into high-sided litter boxes or jump to favorite perches, requiring accommodations like ramps or steps. Older cats may need softer food if they have dental problems, and they are more prone to kidney disease, hyperthyroidism, and other age-related conditions, requiring regular veterinary monitoring. Senior cats often sleep even more than younger cats and may become less tolerant of change or stress. However, with appropriate care, many cats remain active and engaged well into their senior years, enjoying their golden years with their devoted human families. Cats form strong attachments to their homes and can become very stressed when moved to new locations. Unlike dogs who bond primarily to their people, cats bond strongly to their territory, and moving can be traumatic. When moving with a cat, creating a safe room in the new home with familiar objects, gradually expanding their access to other rooms, and maintaining consistent routines can help ease the transition. Some cats adjust quickly, while others may take weeks or months to fully settle into a new environment. Patience and understanding during this adjustment period helps cats feel secure in their new territory. The Bengal cat breed was created by crossing domestic cats with the Asian leopard cat, a small wild cat species. The result is a domestic cat with a wild appearance, featuring distinctive spotted or marbled patterns that resemble a leopard or jaguar. Bengals are highly active, intelligent cats that require significant mental and physical stimulation to be happy. They often enjoy water more than typical cats and may play in their water bowls or join their owners in the shower. Bengals have muscular, athletic bodies and can jump to impressive heights, requiring tall cat trees and plenty of vertical space. The Scottish fold cat breed is characterized by ears that fold forward and downward, due to a genetic mutation affecting cartilage development. These distinctive ears give Scottish folds an owl-like or teddy bear appearance that many people find adorable. However, the same gene that causes the folded ears can also cause painful joint problems, a condition called osteochondrodysplasia. Responsible breeders are careful about their breeding programs, but some veterinarians and animal welfare organizations discourage breeding Scottish folds due to the health concerns associated with the ear-folding gene. Cats can see an ultraviolet light, which is invisible to humans. This ability allows cats to see urine trails and other markings left by other animals, as many biological fluids fluoresce under UV light. Flowers that appear plain to human eyes may have UV patterns that cats can see, completely changing how cats perceive the natural world around them. This UV vision may help cats in hunting by making certain prey more visible, and it certainly gives cats access to visual information that humans are completely unaware of, creating a sensory experience that we can barely imagine. The average cat has about 240 bones in their body, though the exact number can vary depending on the length of the tail, since the tail contains many small vertebrae. This is significantly more bones than the 206 bones in the adult human body. The additional bones, particularly in the spine and tail, contribute to the cat's remarkable flexibility and agility. Some of these bones are fused in kittens, while others remain flexible throughout the cat's life, allowing the spine to bend and twist in ways that would be impossible for humans or many other animals. Cats have a specialized reflective layer behind their retinas, called the tapetum lucidum, that reflects light back through the retina, essentially giving light photons a second chance to be detected by photoreceptors. This adaptation significantly enhances night vision, but also creates the eerie glow of cat eyes when light shines on them in darkness. The color of the eye shine varies depending on the composition of the tapetum lucidum and can appear green, gold, or blue. This reflective layer is found in many nocturnal animals including dogs, deer, and alligators, all of whom need enhanced night vision for survival. A cat's heart is approximately the same relative size as a human heart when compared to body mass, making up about 0.5% of the cat's total body weight. The feline heart has 4 chambers just like the human heart and functions in essentially the same way, pumping oxygenated blood throughout the body and returning deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Cats can suffer from heart disease including hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart muscle becomes abnormally thick, reducing the heart's efficiency. Regular veterinary checkups can help detect heart problems early when they are more treatable. The Abyssinian cat is one of the oldest known cat breeds, with a distinctive ticked or agouti coat where each individual hair has multiple bands of color. This creates a shimmering, iridescent effect that makes the coat appear to glow. Abyssinians are highly active, intelligent cats known for their playful nature and their tendency to bond strongly with 1 or 2 people in the household. They enjoy climbing to high places and are often found on top of refrigerators, bookshelves, and other elevated surfaces from which they can survey their domain. Abyssinians are also notably vocal, communicating frequently with their chosen humans. Cats can become addicted to catnip, though it is a harmless addiction that causes no known health problems. Catnip, a plant in the mint family, contains a compound called nepetalactone that binds to receptors in a cat's nose and stimulates neurons in the brain that would normally respond to cat pheromones. This creates a euphoric response in many cats, causing them to roll, rub, purr, and sometimes become hyperactive for 5 to 15 minutes before the effect wears off. Not all cats respond to catnip. The trait is genetic, with approximately 50 to 70% of cats showing sensitivity to the plant. Kittens under 3 months old typically do not respond to catnip, and the sensitivity develops as they mature. The Devon Rex and Cornish Rex are cat breeds with unusual wavy or curly coats caused by genetic mutations affecting hair structure. These cats have very short, soft coats that feel like suede or velvet to the touch. Because of their minimal coat, Rex cats are often recommended for people with cat allergies, though they still produce the allergens that cause reactions in sensitive individuals. Rex cats require protection from extreme temperatures due to their sparse coats, and may seek out warm places more actively than fully furred cats. They are known for being highly social, affectionate cats that enjoy human company and interaction. Cats can suffer from separation anxiety when separated from their bonded humans or companion animals. Signs of separation anxiety include excessive vocalization when alone, destructive behavior, loss of appetite, and inappropriate elimination. Some cats become so bonded to their owners that they follow them from room to room and become distressed when the person leaves the house. Treatment for feline separation anxiety may include gradually accustoming the cat to alone time, providing environmental enrichment, and in severe cases, anti-anxiety medication prescribed by a veterinarian. Some cats benefit from having a companion animal, while others are happier as the sole pet in the household. The paws of a cat serve multiple functions beyond simple locomotion. The paw pads provide cushioning when walking and jumping, absorbing shock and protecting bones and joints. They provide traction on various surfaces, though cats can slip on very smooth floors like tile or hardwood. The pads contain numerous nerve endings that provide sensory information about surfaces, temperature, and texture. Sweat glands in the paw pads help with temperature regulation, though cats do not sweat over most of their body like humans do. The pads also contain scent glands, so when cats scratch, they leave both visual marks and scent marks from their paws. A cat's claws grow in layers like an onion, with new growth pushing out from underneath the quick, the living tissue inside the claw. The outer layer becomes worn and dull with use, and is eventually shed to reveal the sharp new layer beneath. This is the purpose of scratching, not to sharpen claws as commonly believed, but to remove the worn outer sheaths. When you find tiny claw sheaths around scratching posts or other areas where your cat scratches, this is completely normal and healthy. Indoor cats may need their claws trimmed periodically because they do not wear them down as much as outdoor cats who walk on rough surfaces and climb trees. Cats can develop obsessive-compulsive disorders similar to those seen in humans, engaging in repetitive behaviors that serve no apparent purpose and may be harmful. Excessive grooming leading to bald patches, repetitive pacing, compulsive suckling on fabric, and tail chasing are examples of feline OCD behaviors. These behaviors often begin as stress responses and become ingrained habits that the cat cannot easily stop. Treatment may include addressing underlying stressors, providing more environmental enrichment and mental stimulation, behavior modification techniques, and sometimes medication. Understanding that these are not behavioral problems but mental health issues requiring patient, compassionate treatment is important for helping affected cats. The phrase "curiosity killed the cat" reflects the cat's natural tendency to investigate everything in their environment, sometimes getting into dangerous situations. Cats explore by sniffing, pawing, and sometimes tasting new objects, which can lead to poisoning from toxic plants or chemicals, injuries from unstable objects falling on them, or getting trapped in small spaces. Cat-proofing a home involves securing potential hazards, removing toxic plants, storing chemicals safely, and being mindful of open washers, dryers, and other appliances where a cat might hide. The full version of the saying is actually, "Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back," emphasizing that the benefits of exploration and learning typically outweigh the risks. Cats experience the world primarily through scent, much more so than humans who are primarily visual creatures. A cat's scent-based worldview means they gather enormous amounts of information from smells that humans barely notice or cannot detect at all. When cats sniff something, they are reading a complex story about what that object is, where it came from, who or what touched it, and when. This is why cats spend so much time sniffing new objects, places, and people. They are gathering crucial information that helps them understand and navigate their world. Respecting a cat's need to investigate through scent and allowing them time to thoroughly sniff new things helps reduce their stress and anxiety. A group of cats living together will typically establish a social hierarchy. though it is often more fluid and subtle than the rigid dominance hierarchies seen in some other species. Higher-ranking cats may have priority access to preferred sleeping spots, food, and other resources, while lower-ranking cats defer to them in subtle ways. However, cat hierarchies can shift over time and may be context-dependent, with one cat being dominant in one situation and subordinate in another. Understanding the social dynamics in multi-cat households helps owners provide appropriate resources and interventions to reduce conflict and ensure all cats feel safe and secure. The Burman cat breed, also known as the sacred cat of Burma, is characterized by pointed coloration like a Siamese, a semi-long coat, and distinctive white paws that look like gloves. According to legend, Burman cats were temple cats in ancient Burma, and their distinctive coloring was a gift from a goddess. Burmans are gentle, social cats that form strong bonds with their families and typically get along well with children and other pets. They are less vocal than Siamese cats and less active than some breeds, making them well-suited to calm households. Their semi-long coat requires regular grooming, but is less prone to matting than Persian fur. Cats can recognize their owner's voices and can distinguish their owner's voice from strangers' voices, as demonstrated in various studies. However, cats often choose not to respond when their owner calls them, a behavior that frustrates many cat owners who compare it unfavorably to dogs' responsiveness. This selective response is not a sign that cats do not recognize or care about their owners, but rather reflects cats' independent nature and their tendency to respond to calls only when they are motivated to do so. The bond between cat and owner is real and meaningful, but it manifests differently than the bond between dog and owner. The Turkish Angora is an ancient breed from Turkey, known for its silky, medium-length coat and graceful, athletic build. These cats are highly intelligent and playful, often learning to open doors, turn on faucets, and engage in other problem-solving behaviors. Turkish Angoras can be quite dog-like in their devotion to their chosen humans, following them around and wanting to be involved in all activities. They are also known for their love of water, often playing with running water or even swimming if given the opportunity. White Turkish Angoras with blue eyes or odd eyes are particularly striking, though as with other white cats, deafness is common in this coloration. Cats can develop cognitive dysfunction syndrome as they age, similar to dementia or Alzheimer's disease in humans. Affected cats may become disoriented, forget learned behaviors like litter box use, experience changes in sleep-wake cycles, and show decreased interest in social interaction. They may vocalize more, particularly at night, or appear confused in familiar spaces. While cognitive dysfunction cannot be cured, various treatments and environmental modifications can slow its progression and improve quality of life. Specialized diets, supplements, environmental enrichment, and medications may all help cats with cognitive dysfunction maintain better function for longer. The Russian blue cat breed is known for its striking silver-blue coat, bright green eyes, and shy but loyal personality. These cats are often reserved with strangers but form deep bonds with their family members and can be quite affectionate and playful with people they trust. Russian blues have a double coat that feels plush and soft, and the silver tipping on each hair gives the coat a shimmering quality. They are generally quiet cats with soft voices, and they tend to establish routines and become stressed by changes in their environment. Russian blues are intelligent cats who can learn tricks and enjoy interactive play. Cats sometimes suffer from urinary tract problems including crystals, stones, and infections that can cause pain, difficulty urinating, and potentially life-threatening blockages, particularly in male cats, whose urethras are longer and narrower than females. Signs of urinary problems include frequent trips to the litter box with little or no urine produced, straining to urinate, blood in the urine, and urinating outside the litter box. These symptoms require immediate veterinary attention, as urinary blockages can become fatal within 24 to 48 hours. Prevention includes providing fresh water, feeding appropriate diets, maintaining clean litter boxes, and minimizing stress. The Sphinx cat, despite appearing hairless, requires regular bathing because the oils that would normally be absorbed by fur instead accumulate on their skin. These cats need to be bathed every week or two to prevent oil buildup that can lead to skin problems. Sphinx cats also need their ears cleaned frequently, as they produce more earwax than furred cats. Despite the extra maintenance, many Sphinx owners find these cats to be affectionate, playful companions who are worth the effort. The Sphinx personality is often described as extroverted and people-oriented, with these cats actively seeking human attention and interaction. As you drift deeper into restful sleep, let these final thoughts about our feline friends accompany you into peaceful dreams. Cats are creatures of paradox, independent yet affectionate, wild yet domestic, mysterious yet comfortingly familiar. They have adapted to live alongside humans while retaining their essential nature, teaching us patience, respect for boundaries, and appreciation for the small moments of connection that matter most. Whether purring in sunbeams, stalking invisible prey, or curling up beside us for warmth and companionship, cats enrich our lives in countless ways. Their soft fur, gentle purrs, and unique personalities bring joy and comfort to millions of people worldwide. The relationship between humans and cats continues to evolve and deepen as we learn more about their needs, behaviors, and remarkable abilities. May your sleep be peaceful and restorative, and may you wake with a renewed appreciation for these extraordinary creatures who share our homes and hearts. Rest now in the comforting knowledge that somewhere in the world, cats are being cats, living their mysterious, perfect lives in that timeless, eternal now that only cats fully inhabit. Sleep well, dream peacefully, and let the gentle spirit of cats watch over your slumber.